Hello, welcome back to the channel. And since we're now into 2024 and January, I thought I'd use the opportunity to look back at my December generation and usage. Obviously, on the 1st of January I released that video where I looked back at the whole of my 2023 generation. So thank you to the 1,800 people who have watched that. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do, because if you do, those annoying adverts at the beginning of it, I can't get rid of them, but at least I can monetize my channel if I get to the 1,000 subscriber mark, and at least somebody would get some good out of those adverts, rather than just YouTube. So, let's have a look at the December generation. So this is the generation graph, so this looks at the kilowatt hours produced from my 12 Qcell panels on the roof, which go into a Solis 5 kilowatt inverter. The power on the roof totals a peak of 4.65 kilowatts, and then that energy is either stored in a 5 kilowatt hour pure drive battery or goes to power the house. So this is the graph for the generation, and as you can see, it's reasonably poor. December was absolutely dreadful here in Swansea. It was grey most days, it was drizzling, there wasn't much solar production. So we ended up with very few days, I think that looks like maybe 3 or 4 days, where we had sun and we produced over 8 kilowatt hours. We had a few days where we were on the 5, between the 5 and 7 mark. In fact, we've had the lowest production ever, as I've recorded since having the solar panels, of 0.2 kilowatt hours generated in a day. And that happened multiple times over December. So the best day was at the beginning of the month, where we generated 14.8 kilowatt hours. And I say there was multiple days where we generated 0.2 of a kilowatt hour, which meant that over the whole of December we generated 107 kilowatt hours. That's half of the amount of the previous month. The question is, where did all this go? So this is my graph of what happened to that power. So looking at the graph, where's it gone? Sorry, I've just lost it on my screen. So the red is imports. This is electricity we've had to import. So if you've been watching previous videos, this is the most amount of import we've ever had to have since having the solar panels. A lot of red, and on some days we've pretty much had to rely 100% on import. I'm looking around the 18th of December. The yellow is the is the battery. So this is energy we've stored on the roof and then we've used from the battery. The blue is, the green is the self-use, so this is energy generated on the roof and used in real time, and the blue is the export. As you can see, very little export for the month. Actually, I'll tell you the figures now. I'm on the So Energy tariff paying 5p, although halfway through December I did apply to British Gas, so I should be getting paid 15p from that, but we had so little export, it was less than 20 kilowatt hours, so we made about 96p for the export. So looking at those figures and what I used compared to import, so this is my graph of import versus used. So in December I used about 210 kilowatts of energy, of which 99 was imported and 108 were used myself. So you may be asking, but you only generated 107, so how can you have used 108? And that's because we had some energy saved in the battery from the last day in November. So how did that affect all of our costs? So on import, that 99 kilowatt hours cost us £17.27. That's up from £9.96 in November. And that's based on me paying British Gas 19.5p per kilowatt hour, which is my standard tariff. No standing charge included in that. The money I saved, so that 108 that I used myself, if I hadn't had my solar panels, I'd have paid British Gas an additional £21.17p. And as I've already talked about the exports, so my total money made in December was £22.13p. And it meant that we were 44.92% reliant on the grid. How does that compare to previous years? So that's what this graph shows. This is the energy graph. As you can see, last year we generated slightly more energy in December. We actually generated 144 kilowatt hours. That was compared to 107 this year. And in terms of money, that's what this graph looks like. As you see, last year we made, in December, our total payment money in was £24, so we were about £2 down on that overall. So, quick summary today. If you want to look back at my previous videos much longer, I'll put a link just above. Thank you for watching, and as I say, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in another video very soon.